Once, in a quiet village folded between soft, green hills, lived a young man named Kenji. Kenji was known not for his strength or skill, but for something far harder to carry: a restless, endless mind. Even when the skies were calm and the birds sang without hurry, Kenji's thoughts moved like storms. He turned over the past, again and again. He imagined every version of the future. His mind spun and spun, but never found stillness. One morning, after another sleepless night, Kenji heard a traveler speak of a Zen master who lived in solitude atop a distant mountain. This master, they said, had once been troubled like Kenji, but had now discovered something precious: peace. Kenji set out that very day. He crossed rivers and forests, valleys and fog. The higher he climbed, the quieter the world became, until at last he stood before a small monastery of stone, where the master sat in silent meditation. Kenji bowed low. "Master," he said, "I've come seeking your help. My mind is full of worry, fear, and noise. I long for peace. Can you teach me how to empty it?" The master opened his eyes slowly and smiled, not with pity, but with recognition. "Empty your mind," he said gently. "Very well, come." He led Kenji to a courtyard, still and serene. At its center stood a wide stone basin, filled to the brim with water. Beside it, a small empty bowl. The master handed Kenji a ladle. "Your task," he said, "is simple. Move all the water from this basin into that bowl, but do it without spilling a single drop." Kenji blinked in confusion. The basin was large. The bowl was clearly too small, but the master said no more. So Kenji began. He dipped the ladle carefully and poured, then again and again. For hours, he repeated this motion: scoop, pour, until his arms ached. Yet somehow the basin never seemed to empty. His frustration grew. His mind screamed louder than ever. Eventually, the master returned. He placed a steady hand on Kenji's shoulder and said, "You are working so hard to empty the basin, but you've forgotten the first and most important step." Kenji looked up, exhausted. "What step?" "To empty the basin," the master said, "you must first empty your mind." Kenji stared at him. "How?" The master smiled. "Let go," he said. "Let go of needing to finish. Let go of getting it right. Let go of yourself. Instead, feel the water. Hear the sound. Be here, completely." So Kenji closed his eyes. He breathed. And with each breath, the tension softened. He stopped forcing, stopped measuring, and started noticing. The coolness of the water, the weight of each ladle, the simple rhythm of motion. "You see," he said, "when your mind is no longer cluttered with striving, you do not lose your way in the task. You become the task, and then it completes itself." Kenji understood, not with words, not with thoughts, but with silence. From that day on, he carried the master's teaching in his breath, in his steps, in each small act, because peace, he learned, does not arrive when we've done everything. It appears when we stop needing to.